of Spade and Spoon Online. Today's focus is going to be all about vegetarian food. So we're going to be making a really delicious spicy potato with chickpea curry. Curries are a really great way to skip the meat, leave it out, because you'll find that the veggies just soak up all the flavour and you don't even really miss it. I would encourage all of you to give some vegetarian food, give it a chance. Maybe have one night a week, Meat-Free Mondays. There's been a really big initiative that started up. Just, to change people's minds about what vegetarian food is. And, eating vegetarian is better for the environment. There's lots of positives as well. And we all know that veggies are really good for us, but it can be a little bit of a struggle sometimes if you don't love vegetables, and vegetarian food might be a little bit intimidating. You will notice at the supermarkets now there is a huge variety of meat-free alternatives out there as well. We're not going to be using any of those today. Instead, we'll be focusing on, boosting up the sort of iron and nutrients by using legumes, which is like chickpeas and lentils and things like that. All right. So to get started, I'm going to first of all chop up my onion. So to chop up your onion, you're going to top and tail. So take the ends off using your spider grip. All right, chop it in half. I find that the easiest way to be able to remove the skin, if you do that. Now, I'm not really great at knowing any sort of tricks to stop you from crying, other than a sharp knife helps and goggles. No, I don't know. I don't know about the goggles. I think they're just for fun, right? Okay. So with your onion, you want to put your hand up the top, and you're going to take your knife and you're going to cut it through the middle. Depends on how big it is, but you might do one or two of these. I might do two for this one. And you're going to cut it so it goes almost to the end, but not quite. Okay, so I just stopped. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just stopping because if I cut all the way through, then it falls into pieces, because we know that onions have layers. All right, so once it's cut like that, then I'm going to cut it down through the middle. Similar idea, so using my bridge hold, I'm going to make them about, a bit less than a centimetre. But same thing, I'm not cutting all the way to the end. All right, then using my spider grip, I'm going to slice across this way. And that way, when you cut, you'll see that your onion is in all little tiny pieces already. Okay, that's how chefs cut onions. When you get to the ends, because obviously this bit is not sliced up, you can just kind of do the rock and chop like this to get it all into small pieces. Glad you can't see my face because I'm currently crying. So next up, you need to peel your potato. So I've already peeled my just normal white potatoes here. I'm going to show you with the sweet potato. So when we're peeling, we make sure that we peel away from ourselves. And it depends what sort of peeler you have, but this one's kind of just good for little short, sharp movements. Just always away. Keep your hands away, and that way you won't cut yourself. And you can just go through and get any bits that you've missed. I love sweet potato. One of my favourite veggies. Okay, clean up your mess. Trim off the ends. Then to make this a little bit more manageable, I'm going to chop it in half. Okay, using my bridge, and then half again. So I line it up, I get it into position, then I put my hand up the top and I push down. Because root vegetables like potatoes are really firm, you need your body weight to push down to be able to cut through them. Okay, and then I can use my spider grip to roughly chop it up into sort of this size pieces. We don't want them too small because the sweet potato will cook before the regular potato because it's a little bit softer. With your white potato, same thing, bridge, okay, to find its position. Then put your hand up the top and push down. It's got stuck on there. Okay, in half again. And then same thing into little pieces. You want to make sure that you've got all of this stuff ready to go before you start cooking. So in this recipe, it uses a range of different beautiful spices. You can see all the colours there. So in here we've got garam masala, we've got cayenne pepper, cumin, coriander, turmeric. I've also added garlic powder because I didn't have any fresh garlic here at school. I've forgotten to bring some in, so I've substituted with garlic powder, but you would chop up your garlic and add it in with your onion. The other thing that we need to add in here is some fennel. Now, I only had the fennel seeds. I don't have any crushed fennel, or ground fennel, I should say. So I'm just going to grind some up in the little mini mortar and pestle here. So you can do the same thing. If you can only get the whole spice, you can just grind it up till it makes the powder and then add that in. So my powder's all crushed up, so I can add that to the mix as well. And when I was crushing that, the most beautiful smell was coming out. Fennel is like an aniseed, like a licorice sort of flavour. All right, I'm going to give those a little mixeroonie. So I'll be adding those in all together. Now, if you don't like it spicy, you can leave out the cayenne pepper, the chili, okay? And if you like it really spicy, you could add fresh chili to this or increase the amount of dried chili. Other things you're going to need, some stock. Okay, I've got just over a cup there. I've got a tin of crushed tomatoes, and traditionally you need to use chickpeas. I didn't have any handy. I've got lentils, so I'm going to add those in as well. And then I've got a cup of frozen peas, which I'll add in towards the end. All right, let's get cooking. All right, so this has been cooking for a few minutes now. I'm going to add in my spices, and I'm only going to cook it for about 30 seconds, and you'll smell them. You don't want to burn them. I'm just warming those spices. I also added some salt to my spice mix. Getting it all coated in the onions. It smells delicious. All right, now I'm going to add in my potatoes and start to coat them. Because I've used turmeric, it will give the potatoes a bit of a yellow sort of colour. But just for a minute, stirring them through. Alright, now I need to add some liquid in there before my spices start to burn. So I'm going to add in my stock and my tomatoes. You want enough liquid to cover your vegetables. So everything's in there except for the peas and the lentils or the chickpeas. They'll be added in just before the end because they just need to be warmed through. So I'm going to bring this up to the boil. So boil means big bubbles. And as soon as it starts to boil, I'm going to turn it down to a simmer. So simmer's little bubbles. I'm going to leave this to cook for about 30 minutes, but I'm going to keep an eye on it because it can catch and burn at the bottom. So every 5 minutes you want to give it a stir and check the liquid levels. If you find it's evaporating too quickly, you might need to add a little bit of splash more stock or water in there. So this has been cooking for almost half an hour now. A lot of the liquid's reduced and it is starting to catch a bit on the bottom, so I know that it's almost there. I've felt the potatoes and they feel soft. You can just get a knife and poke them through or a fork, and if it goes through easily, then it's good to go. I'm going to lastly add in my frozen peas into there. Then I'm going to add in my lentils or chickpeas, whatever legumes you have available. And these ones are the tinned ones, so they've already been cooked. If you were going to use dried, you'd need to soak them beforehand. You just want to warm that up. And then because I'm all about balancing flavours, it is important to taste it, see if it needs more salt. I'm going to add some lemon to it because I love the little, I love the sourness. It brings out the flavours in a curry. So a little bit of lemon. And then I found some coriander out the front, and I'm just going to rip that up. Coriander is one of those things you either love or hate, and I happen to love it. Lots of fresh coriander in there. And just like that, we've got ourselves a beautiful vegetarian meal that is delicious for dinner, a family dinner. Serve this with some rice, some papadum, some flatbread, maybe a yogurt sauce or a chutney, and you've got yourself a beautiful feast. Enjoy.